Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile, and today is going to be Elemental Heroes. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this deck is a really good fusion deck, and it's a really great searching deck. So some of these choices in here might be kind of strange, but this is a hyper budget version. So most of these cards you can get from the Hero Strike Structure deck. So all in all, it isn't that bad. So without further ado, let's get into it. Kicking things off, 3 copies of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is really good. This deck focuses a lot on masked heroes and mask change. So being able to special summon out Elemental Hero Shadow Mist is not super difficult. Plus it has a graveyard searching effect. So, yeah, all in all, Shadow Mist, really good card. Next is 2 copies of Elemental Hero Blazeman. Blazeman, also very good card. It's your searcher for polymerization. Now, some people might play cards like Vision Hero Vion, but the only reason I don't play it is because this card is actually, to me, kind of better. Because with Blazeman's effect, it's when it's normal or special summon. So he could get special summoned, and then you gain card advantage. But with Vion, you have to banish from your graveyard. So either or, I'd suggest Blazeman, but Vion has a better ability. So if you're playing a more expensive version, like I don't run Destiny Hero Malicious in here. So if you're playing a more expensive version, I'd suggest playing Vion, but Blazeman is my go-to searcher for Poly. Next is 3 copies of Elemental Hero Solid Soldier. Most decks will only play 1 to 2 copies of this, and they'll play 1 copy of Liquid Soldier. But the problem is Liquid Soldier is a $50 card. So I play Solid Soldier at 3 just so that you get some special summons. Because a lot of this deck works well with special summons, and with Mask Change, your cards need to be on the field. Even though you can fusion summon with this deck, I suggest with this profile going for the Mask Change route. So Solid Soldier, really good, especially when it comes to combos with Shadow Mist. Next, we are playing 2 copies of Elemental Hero Bubbleman. Bubbleman is not exactly the best card. If you don't have any cards in your hand or graveyard, hand or field, then you can discard it and then draw 2 cards. And all in all, it's an okay effect, but I don't play it for its effect. I play it for its typing, because I need a water target for Masked Hero Acid, which a lot of the Masked Heroes got a reprint, so which makes them a lot cheaper. Like, it went from $30 to, like, 50 cents now. So, great. You can switch this out for more expensive cards like Liquid Soldier, but I play Bubbleman as the budget alternative. Next, 2 copies of Elemental Hero Neos Alias. Neos Alias is meh. It's a Gemini, so its effect isn't very good. It turns itself into Elemental Hero Neos. But it's got good attack points, and I play it for its light attribute. So yeah, 2 copies of that. 2 copies of Elemental Hero Voltic. Voltic is also the only reason I play this is because of its light attribute, and it's not very good at all, but yeah. Next, I am playing 3 copies of Elemental Hero Avian. Now, most people won't play this card because of cards like Stratos being way better than this, but the reason I'm playing 3 copies of Avian instead of like 1 or 2 is because it is good for plays with Elemental Hero Grand Merge, and there is a super good play, going second play, with this deck with Grand Merge. So you want to get Grand Merge out on your first turn, and I'm playing 3 Avian so that I have a target for Masked Hero Divine Wind too. So I have enough to get out my Grand Merge and my Masked Hero Divine Wind. Next is one copy of Elemental Hero Neos. Elemental Hero Neos is not good. It's just not good. But the only reason I play it is because it's a high level monster and it is a normal type. So it's good with Grand Merge. So you can poly that like these two, and then you can summon out Grand Merge, and then you'll have, I believe, a 3,000 Grand Merge. The only reason I ran that was because if I used 2 copies of Avion, its attack was only 1,800. So it wasn't very good. So I played 1 Neos, so that, because this deck can search a lot, this is kind of your Garnet. You want it to stay in the deck, but you want to be able to search it really quickly if you need to. So yeah, 1 copy of Elemental Hero Neos, then 2 copies of Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk is good because we run a large amount of spell cards in this deck. So easy special summons for cards like Elemental Hero Shadow Mist to get your mask change out of your deck is really good. So 2 copies, Summoner Monk. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I am playing 3 copies of Emergency Call, best searcher in the deck. Really good for the fact that you can just add any card from your deck to your hand, basically, because it has to be an elemental hero. So I use this to get like my Blazeman to add my Poly to my hand, or I can use it to add my Neos to my hand for a fusion play with Grand Merge. So yeah, I play 3 copies of this, pretty much mandatory. Then, considering that this deck is very mask change heavy, 3 copies of mask change, pretty mandatory. You either want to have this in your hand, but you want to have a good variety of monsters in your hand. I'm trying to work on the ratios because a lot of this deck can brick with either too many monsters in your hand and not enough fusion spells, or too many spells in your hand and not enough ways to get your monsters out. So I'm trying to work on that. But 3 copies of Mask Change, considering that this deck is pretty much Masked Hero based. 2 copies of Mask Change 2. Because of the discard cost, it's not as good, but you can still, I only run 2 of these because of Summoner Monk. You'll usually have Summoner Monk off or on the field when you're summoning out your elemental hero, Shadow Mist. So I want to run 2 of these just so that I have the option. If I need to, I can use this on an elemental hero, but I can also use this on my Summoner Monk too. Next, 3 copies of Polymerization. Polymerization, it's a fusion deck. You kind of have to play Poly. There are other cards you can throw in here, like Super Poly, but I'm not running many of the Omni heroes. I'm only running Great Tornado, so I'd suggest running 3 for generics, but I wouldn't run any other many other fusion spells other than maybe generic fusion spells. Next are the 1-ofs. I'm playing a lot of 1-ofs. 1 Pot of Duality, because this deck, if you don't have draw, we don't have much draw consistency in this deck. 1 copy of Monster Reborn to get back your Shadow Mist, which is really good. 1 Warrior Returning Alive for recurring fusion materials. 1 Reinforcement of the Army for searching, also really good to help search. Like I said, this is a heavy search deck. 1 A Hero Lives, good searcher, special summon from the deck, but the half your life points is kind of a steep cost, so you want to make sure that you time this card right. 1 Mask Charge. I only run 1 of these because every time I ran more than 1, it would brick a ton. So I'd suggest only running 1 Mask Charge, and sticking to that so that you can recur like your Shadow Mist and stuff. One Miracle Fusion for graveyard plays, and don't really use this that often, but it can also do field plays, so there's that. One Our Righteous Justice, because we don't have any spell or trap card removal other than this in this deck, so I figured, hey, it wouldn't be too bad considering that the majority of the main deck is Elemental Heroes. And finally, 1-0 Oversoul, so special summon a hero from the graveyard. Not bad. I pretty much only run Elemental Heroes, so there's that. It's really good to help with that. So next we're moving on to the extra deck. We're playing one copy of Contrast Hero Chaos. Kind of just throw this in here just so that you have plays with your, it has a negation effect, so not terrible. One Masked Hero Acid. Like I said, a lot of the Masked Heroes got reprints in the latest set, Toon Chaos. So this really good. All in all, I definitely suggest playing this card. One copy of Masked Hero Diane, also really, really good. I was wanting to get these two, but I needed to wait till Toon Chaos came out in order to get them because they were really expensive. 2 copies of Masked Hero Anki. I'm thinking about bumping this down to 1, but there is the play where you have his attack points to attack directly and then spring a mask change. So you can bump this down to 1, but I like 2 of them. Next, 1 copy of Masked Hero Divine Wind. Divine Wind, also very, very good. It has draw power, kind of like Nova Master, but I'm not playing Nova Master, so yeah. 1 copy of Masked Hero Koga for the light plays. I'm thinking about bumping the light monsters down in my deck, just so that I can better play with, so that I have more consistency with my other plays. Alright, next we have 2 copies, Masked Hero Dark Law, 100% mandatory, super cheap, and its effect is amazing. It's, so good. And if you can get this card out on the field as a starter play, then you're pretty much set, because then your opponent, you can get this out on the first turn and your opponent can't recur stuff. So with Eldritch and stuff, this is really good. I side deck 1 Dark Law and 1 Mask Change 2 for my normal side deck, but I'm not going to show that. But it's really good because it can banish your graveyard stuff. So it could banish a Rocket Synchron and they can't do their Hulky Vibrax play. But there are other ways to do that without Jet Synchron, so 2 copies of that. Definitely really, really good. 2 copies, Elemental Hero Great Tornado. Only reason I run 2 copies of this is because of Miracle Fusion. I want to be able to, if I can, I could summon 2 of these in 1 turn. And all in all, that wouldn't be very bad. 2800 attack, have the attack of all monsters your opponent controls. Really, really good. 1 Elemental Hero Grand Merge, super good. I will show you guys a play at the end of the video that is amazing with this card if you're going second. Because of the current format and how many cards your opponents can summon, I'll show you the play. And 1 copy, Vision Hero Trinity. Vision Hero Trinity, super, super good for OTKs. You can attack 3 times and its attack is doubled when it's special summoned. This is an amazing card. So 1 of those, and to round off the extra deck, 1 Elemental Hero Nebula Neos. I don't have the materials for this card, but I'll show you why I play this in a combo in just a second. So yeah, that is it for the deck profile. Now it's time to show you some combos. So this is a very overpowered combo, but you need 2 normal monsters. I suggest searching out your Neos and then having an Avian in your hand. Then you have Polly. So you fuse these 2, goes to the grave. Summon out Grand Merge. Grand Merge would have, at this point, 3,000 attack, which can beat over most cards in the game at this point. So what you do is you attack with Grand Merge, and then the effect of Grand Merge, you can tribute it, which then you can summon out Elemental Hero Nebula Neos. And with cards like Nibiru, it's basically, the only reason people play Nibiru is because of how many cards people summon out in a single turn. So Nebula Neos is the best card to summon out with Grand Merge's effect, because you could basically you destroy one monster with Elemental Hero Grand Merge, and in the competitive format, people will at least have 4 to 5 cards on the field, so you'll be able to draw 4 to 5 cards off of this card's effect, and that would be an amazing play. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, let me know what other deck profiles you want to see, if I have them, because I only have 4 decks, but screw that. See you guys in the next video. Peace.